Heyo everyone, MimiVix here with a Monster Hunter Wilds lore theory video. Wilds had its first title update go live back on April 4th, and with it came a slew of new content for hunters to sink their teeth into. Of these additions, one of the more anticipated was the inclusion of the Gathering Hub, which has been a staple of the franchise for some time now. Known as the Grand Hub, people from all over come together in this melting pot to mingle, play games, and team up on hunts. That said, the Grand Hub has a special significance in the world of the Wyverians as a place of offering and spirituality. This trait is what drives the core of the video I have for you today, as we are introduced to a special person of the tribe of Wyverians known to us as the Diva. Before we dive headfirst into the mud of the matter, I think it's important to explain exactly who the Wyverians are, and since I've been buried under all of this research, I'm going to burden the internet with what I've compiled. Wyverians, also known as the First Hunters, are an ancient race of people with expanded lifespans that can go into the several hundreds, and are identifiable by their pointed ears, forefingers, and often digitigrade legs. Their culture spans across the world, but they are deemed as rare in most regions due to their low propagation rate. Wyverians are extremely sensitive to the world around them and are in tune with nature in a way humans don't seem to be able to grasp. Wyverians are peaceful and prefer to avoid conflict whenever possible, and they uphold a balance and harmony with the world and its creatures. They see the value of hunters as part of this cycle and are the source of the hunting techniques used by hunters of this era as they pass down those techniques over the years. Wyverian language originated as one comprised primarily of vibrations rather than audible sound, allowing Wyverians to communicate with the world around them on a much more intimate level. Everything in this world has a balance, and that balance must be maintained. It is paramount to their culture. The Diva is a mysterious figure that is chosen by the tribe of Wyverians of their region to sing a song and offering of gratitude toward an unseen entity. The Diva has been within this realm for quite some time, spanning all the way back to Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, but was known then as the Songstress of Dondorma. This Diva was Wyverian, much like our current Diva, but there is no sign of being genetically related at this time. You do not specifically have to be Wyverian to be chosen as a Diva, as Monster Hunter Frontiers had a Diva that was actually human. The songs the Divas sing appear to be stories, much like hymns of our world. And these hymns are sung to inspire the world around them while also reflecting a story. These stories are likely from the era of vibration and then translated by the Wyverians into the audible language that people hear in the hub. That said, the fact that these hymns tell stories implies their source may actually be from the monsters themselves, thus hinting that Wyverians resonate. Resonance is an interesting skill among the Wyverians, as the information connected to it is very sparse. In Rise, the twins mention having a connection to the Narwhal and Ibushi before we see them being used like a telephone for the monsters. It's implied that Wyverians have this skill, but the means of which it is used and harnessed, if it even can be harnessed, are left in the dark. Since the only instance of seeing resonance used is to allow the elder dragons to speak the language of man, we can assume that it is the most common use of this skill. So what does resonance and the Diva have in common? The information that we have shows the Diva is somewhat like a priestess. She sings her songs, and with these songs tells a story. With the title update and the Blossom Dance Festival, the Grand Hub was graced with a second song, this being the Song of Beginnings, a song from Monster Hunter DOS that has a heavy emphasis on balance and harmony, while also issuing a warning to the listener. We know this because there are in fact lyrics for these songs. since to create the Diva's songs, the Japanese text was translated into French and then phonetically transcribed back into Japanese. The Song of Beginnings mentions that if the balance is not maintained, that the heavens will release its wrath upon the world. Due to the lore of the games, this is heavily speculated to represent the White Fatalis. Now comes the part in the video where everybody goes, alright, so Diva is White Fatalis confirmed. And I want to just say I disagree with that, actually. Evidence that we have going toward Diva being White Fatalis is the fact that in Monster Hunter Portable 2G, there is a hunt bill for the White Fatalis fight that is issued by a client that is the girl in a white dress. I believe it also can be translated as girl in a white robe, but that a lot of people feel implies that it's the Diva. I don't believe it to be Fatalis hiding as a little girl, although that's kind of a funny mental image. The other thing that a lot of people are saying it has to be Fatalis is the fact that the flashbang at the end of her performance, I don't see it. White Fatalis is supposed to be accompanied by a total eclipse that creates a portal. So while yes, there are some weather changes with White Fatalis, or any of the Fatalis, to be completely honest, I don't believe that is strong enough evidence to say 100% that the Diva is White Fatalis. I liked the thought that she may be resonating with a White Fatalis or some other elder, as she does sing with her eyes closed, and a lot of times with resonance, the eyes of the resonator actually changes to reflect the monster or elder that they are resonating with. But again, I don't really have any concrete evidence to say that she is in fact actively resonating. And the gives us a buff from song, I can just sort of shoo away by saying that's the power of music. Music makes you feel things and can change your mood quite quickly, dependent upon the type of song. Weather is also used quite heavily throughout Monster Hunter Wilds as story progression. We've seen it in each of the regions as they have a 3-seasonal cycle of plenty, fallow, and inclemency, each of these having a different effect on the region's weather. And while Elder Dragons are known to create cataclysmic weather conditions in the regions of which they visit, that sort of hints that we might have another weather-based entity to deal with, which kind of makes me lean toward the Narwa, the Ibushi, and the Amatsu because of the fact we have a heavy emphasis on Leviathan class monsters in Wilds. The main logo for Monster Hunter Wilds seems to depict Leviathan type monsters, 6 of them, 2 in the middle, 4 little ones on the outside, all flying in like a little circle or a helix pattern as far as the 2 in the middle. So we could be looking at a possible reintroduction to these types of monsters going forward. So what does that mean for the Diva? Well, for me personally, my theory is actually that the Diva resonated with an elder of some sort. This elder gave a story, speaking of the Song of Beginnings, and the people of Suja took that as a we must share this information. But you don't want to just go out and tell everybody, hey, everybody, the world is going to be exploded if you don't fix your crap. So instead they offer song, and since most people don't look too deeply into the meaning of song or hymns, they just look at it and go, oh, what a pretty sound, I like this song, it's very pretty, while the Wyverians are doing their preferred method of trying to avoid conflict and confrontation to spread said message. So that is my theory in regards to the Diva as well as her songs. I certainly hope that you found this to be somewhat interesting, particularly some of the intricacies of how the Diva songs are even made. That was very interesting for me when I discovered it. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have any theories of your own, what your thoughts on the Diva are. If Heck, tell me what you're looking forward to coming up in the next title update. Lagiacris. I don't know how to pronounce that. Laggy's coming in the next title update, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to shift things in the game. So until next time, have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy hunting!